Okay, hello, good morning. I'm just grabbing my coffee and I'll be right back. Okay, just 2 seconds. Right, there we go. As I say, no coffee, no coffee, no code. Okay, so so I'm really happy about where things are, and we're going to merge it. This is going to be like the official React States release. Like, I'm not doing anything around it yet, but we're going to merge it at least. And as I said, it's all about the transition. And like, you don't really need a transition either. You can express this using nested switch statements. It's just a lot of boilerplate. And beyond that, you don't really have to do anything more, but you can use these helpers to get more type safety, help you more efficiently deal with side effects, and so on and so on. It's like every step is enhancing the experience of using explicit states. Okay, one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to add a section here on actually consuming. Let's see, my component, we just need an example of this. App, where we would import environment provider and use environment from environment interface. So I'm like very simple documentation here, but this can be improved later. And there's also a reference app for this, so I don't worry too much about that. Environment provider. And then we would do like import environment from browser, for example. And then we would render my component, and we would be able to use the hook. What was it called? Data fetcher. And then we return something, just a div. It just shows you how it's being consumed. One thing I noticed yesterday, it's kind of funny how you, because I removed with the creators, these action and where did I put them? Paste the creators, yeah. Here you can see I'm using like constants, because I created this helper type, which I didn't think fit in, like it was too generic, the return types kind of thing. But what I noticed that there's a really good pattern of like actually putting these things into a variable, or they will just be like, as you can see here, like what is an action, what is state, and what is a command. But if you were to do this, and then there's no question what's like a command. Now the problem is, how do you type this without the helper? And what I discovered is that you can actually do this, commands, key of type of commands. And that actually gives you the return type of every key as the command, which is awesome, right? We're going to show that here, because if you're going to use this pattern, it's better to put them into a record like this. Let's see, and then we do return type, and then as you can see here, when you have multiple keys, that's where you kind of see the power of it. Actions, key of type of actions. It's very like straightforward, and what's happening here is that we're saying type of actions, which is a record, and then give us, this is what it means. It's just like you would do actions dot action A, and that's like, you see that we're actually like going into a key here, but it's dynamic. So we're saying, okay, with the actions record, dive into every key that exists in actions, and that gives you every value for every key, like a union, and then that's our return type, and then we extract the return type. It's actually quite nice. Let's see. And then this is states. Let's see. And then I have one more thing to mention. I also included, maybe you saw it. I also included a small factory for creating an event emitter. Now the reason I consider that part of the, what did I do? There we go. Why I consider that factory part of the library is because when you do explicit states, you have an opportunity to take more advantage of events, because everything is guarded, right? So that being an event emitter using the environment interface pattern, or it's just you creating a hook that that you want to expose a subscription so that you can like pass data into a reducer. You need an event emitter for that. And looking at NPM, and they're all like a lot of great event emitters, but they're like they're imperative, and a lot of fluff around them, and they don't do typing, like they don't do event union like we do here. We create a union of actions and events and stuff like that. But the event emitters, they expect like the first argument to typically be like the name of the event, and it just doesn't fit. So I can actually show you the implementation. It's super simple. This is all. Like I create emitter. It has listeners, and the great thing about this is by just making this a function, the listeners are scoped to the emit and subscribe. So you can pass the emitter wherever you want. You can pass the subscribe or the emit, or you can pass the subscribe wherever you want, but they're bound to their listeners, which means you don't have to bind the functions or anything like that. And it's such a simple implementation. It's kind of the most basic emitter you can create. Let's see. Okay, we have to fix this one as well to fit in with the rest. Blah, blah, blah. And then return type of actions, key of type of actions. And then the same for state. Const state, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Type of states, key of type of states. Cool. Yeah, and we have to fix this. So also what I reason about is when you do this, you kind of like you're not ensuring that you have like 3 places you define the name for this action. It's here, it's here, and then it's down here. But it doesn't matter if you name this wrong, because the typing will still be typed to this. So you can't really go wrong. It just, you might see like a typo. But yeah, and in this case you could even do like actions like this if you wanted to. Or if you use Lodash, you could do like pick actions, action A. Like, so there are many opportunities to use this. We'll just do that. Or maybe just to be very explicit. Action A. Cool. So that's what I wanted to fix in the documentation. I think I added the emitter, and I just added it as a very simple thing, not when to use it, just added it to the documentation. And then we are going to where are we? Let's see. Here we are. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. Like with CodeSandbox Projects, you can see I'm working in VS Code here, but in the web editor, everything's reflected. So what I typically do is maybe we should change the package JSON. I work in VS Code, and then when I want to do like committing or stuff like that, I move to the browser. And I actually think, how should we do this? No, I guess we should change that in. Yeah, let's just update the docs first. And then we're going to open a PR. New. Yeah, where should we change a maybe we should create. No, I'll create a new commit in. Yeah, how does that work? Because now it's actually dash next. But does it have to be like that? Like when you tag next? No, it still needs to be, yeah, okay. Yeah, I wonder how people do that in open source. Like, how do they... If you have a next branch where you do development and you release with a next tag, but then when you merge that, you want to not have the next version. Maybe that... Yeah. I have no idea. What should we do? Should we put the version in now? Or... Yeah, because I'm thinking maybe what they do is they don't have the dash next. So the version here would actually be 6.0.0, and then and then as we work on this, we will release like the next version under the next tag. And then when you merge it, then that becomes the new version. But that's not released under the next tag. And maybe that even bumps the version. Like going from next, you might have multiple releases there, and then you merge into main, and that might even bump it once more. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do it here. Let's see. Bump version commit. Yeah, it's a long time since I worked in finalized concept and API. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Cool. Let's merge it, and then we don't have like actually I just worked on that this morning. One of the features coming to CodeSandbox projects is it's like secrets and stuff. We're actually going to build that next, but that means I have to go local when I'm going to publish. Do I have React states here? There we are. Oh, don't say. Git checkout, is it main? Yeah. Already up to date. How can it, sometimes I get like, is it VS Code pulling, like fetching or something? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to build it, and then we're going to npm publish. That's all we're going to do. And then we are going to move to the Excalibur project, and we're going to use that published version just to make sure it works. And okay, OTP. Just make sure it works, and then we'll also have yet another example of using latest React states. And what's kind of nice is that the family Scrum project uses the pattern of, well, it has an environment interface, but it also uses the creators pattern. Oh, fuck, do I have an interview? Oh, shit. Oh, I actually have an interview. Oh my God. Good thing I saw that. It's actually in 10 minutes. I have to prepare, I think. Who is this? Is this like a live thing? Is this a live interview? Haven't I talked to this guy? Yeah. Yeah, I've already talked to this guy. I wonder. And we actually went quite deep. I think this is more of a technical interview. I'm doing it with someone else as well. But I have to, of course, join this. So I think we'll have to stop the stream there. And then maybe we can do like a second stream or something. I don't know. We'll do another stream next week. Or maybe I'll do one in the weekend. We'll figure it out. Anyways, I have to go to this interview. Sorry about that. But at least now it's merged and published. Like if you want to try it yourself, maybe you already have. But feel free to do so now and give any feedback. But I'm going to create like an introduction video for it and kind of make it a bit more public, that it's kind of ready to be used. And then I'm going to do a ton more streams where we refactor stuff in CodeSandbox. So